Hey, Lauren. I'm here because you have won two big Grand Prix freestyles with your rider Felicitas Hendricks from Germany at the Adequan Global Dressage Festival. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? How old are you? What are you doing here
Okay, well,
exactly?
I'll start. Yeah, I am Lauren,
Yeah.
and I am an American. I'm from North Carolina. I grew up there originally. I'm 41 years old,
Oh my goodness.
and I've been doing horses forever. Let's see. I've done kind of all different aspects of the horse world. Grooming, some riding. I worked on a breeding farm. I bred my own brood mares and had babies. I worked as a vet tech. And it's all helped me become a better groom in the end.
Yeah.
Now I work in Germany mostly and come here just for season.
Who are you working for then?
I work for Koschel Dressage, Christoph Koschel. And
And,
Felicitas is a coworker of mine and a
ah,
friend and all that. Yeah. So she is the niece of Christoph and trains with Christoph and works for him also.
okay.
So we're coworkers at the end of the day.
But you do groom for her when she's
I help,
at
yeah, at the shows here in Wellington. I'm ringside and help her, and we kind of have like maybe a horsey mentorship,
Yeah.
horsemanship mentorship, because
Yeah.
she is only 23 years old, so I'm almost old enough to be her
Yeah.
mom. That's hard to think about.
Okay, but let's start. How did you get into grooming?
Well, mostly I wanted to ride and grooming. I mean, having horses, you're just going to be a groom. You better
Yeah.
learn how to be a groom, right?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of all part of it. And I started in pony club as a little kid, and they really advocate for the grooming and the horsemanship and the care of the horse almost before the riding. And so that's kind of how I grew up. We all had to learn how to take care of a horse and tack a horse up before we could ride a horse.
Good.
So I kind of came from that background. So this is just necessary
Yeah.
to do all the aspects of care for
Yeah.
horses, And so now I just get paid for it. But I've been doing it forever since I was a child.
Nice.
So, it's very important. Even as a rider, it helps if you know like what the stall looked like in the morning, how they were in the cross ties when you got on, and then when you get on. And I like still getting on and riding and stuff because then I know how they're feeling too.
Yeah.
And I can talk to my boss and he says, oh, he feels like this. And I understand what that feeling feels like and say, okay, let's try this for a therapy or something like that,
So you're just very all round and complete.
Yeah, I try to be.
Hey, what do you like so much about your job?
Well, the horse is number one. I'm sure everybody says that. We all come to it for the horses. But I like trying to improve them, and plus, I mean, their happiness and all that stuff is number one.
Yeah.
And so I try to make everybody happier, and we get new horses in and try to make them better, so that's cool. If I can do that with whatever I can do on the ground, then I'm happy to do that. And it's fun to watch them develop and change and become better.
Yeah.
So.
And what's the worst part about your job?
Oh, I guess on a rainy, cold day and I'm tired or whatever, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or if something happens with one of the horses, if they get injured or something like this, heaven forbid, knock on wood, dealing with that, you never want to have that. You want to have sunshine days and happy days and healthy horses all the time, but that doesn't always happen.
Well, then you're better off in Florida, I think, than in Germany.
Well, yes. Although I do love Germany, though. I really do. It is different from here. I like the European shows, actually more. And maybe it's just because it's newer for me. I moved over there in 2019. So it's still kind of new for me to go to shows in Europe and stuff like that. And it is a different horsey culture. It's a deep horsey culture, just like we have our American horse culture, but theirs is just different. And it's more in dressage than we have in America still.
Yeah.
It's still kind of newer here compared to Europe. So it's just nice to be immersed around people that are into the same things I am, like really into it. I'm also a bloodline nerd. I love breeding and bloodlines and studying that stuff. And everyone there knows all the bloodlines here. Here in America, we're still a little bit like, oh, it doesn't matter. No, it matters.
Yeah.
It helps you. It gives you at least an educated guess on what this horse is going to be like to train or deal with on the ground. Yeah. So I think it's very important. And so do they in Europe. So that's one thing that I like about it.
But you must agree that it's nice to have a little bit of sunshine in the winter.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true. I still put the sunscreen on, though. It's very important,
And where are we now? Where are you guys based?
We are out in Loxahatchee. This is a farm we're renting for this season. It's off F Road. And it's a nice little place. We don't have it covered. And this season it's been a little bit more rainy than other seasons. So we've been learning to work the horses in the rain. Aqua training. Natural style.
Oh, you have a good raincoat?
Yeah, have a good raincoat, and you just can't be afraid of getting wet.
No.
No.
Hey, who's your favorite horse? Do you have a favorite horse?
I've definitely had favorite horses in the past, some that I've owned, some that I've worked with. They're not all here now. I have a couple here that I really love. We have a chestnut gelding down here named Eddie that I
Show
love him.
us.
Okay, let's see if he can come out of the feeder for a minute. Oh, and this is my dog Monkey. Eddie. Eddie. He's like, no, I'm still eating. This is Eddie. I call him Eddie Bunny. Eddie Money, for those who know who that is as a singer.
I don't know.
No? Okay,
No.
yeah, he's from like the 80s. The Eddie Money, Eddie Bunny, this is Adini. He's a Grand Prix horse that we've had in training. He's a client horse.
Yeah.
And I love him. He's a character, big time character. And then I am a big mare person. So we have some mares down here I love.
Let's go.
Why
is that? Why is that?
I love mare. It started from childhood. I think a little bit too, it was a way to save money. My mom was like, we're going to buy mares because then if something happens, they can be a brood mare.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas geldings are like, that's all you got.
Yeah.
So they have a special personality, and it's special when you can get them on your team, because this is the way you have to train them. They have to be on your side, and you have to trust them first, and then they'll give the trust back to you. But once you get all that, then that's very exciting. This is one mare that we have, a young mare, Benita, Mama. And I call all mares mamas because they're all mamas to me. She's 5 years old, owned by Koschel. Great little mare.
Oh.
And this is another mare here, Finesse, who's 1 year older. Hi, Mom. But yeah, they're all mamas to me.
Nice.
And I think it's important. I really enjoyed working with mares and foals because it helps you kind of know when you meet a horse that's trained. So first of all, you appreciate that trained horse because you know every step that went into it, because they are not born halter broke or anything like that. So it's a good way to understand horses, in general. You have to understand where they came from all the way up to being a Grand Prix horse.
Yeah.
It's all a process. Okay.
So Lauren, we're here with a very special horse because he won those both classes here in Florida, the first two freestyles.
Mm-hmm.
So what can you tell us about him? How special is he?
He's very special. He's a very good boy. He's got a very good temperament. He's a lot of fun on the ground. He'll do yoga stretches for treats and things like this. We love that. He's taught other horses to do that because some horses stand on the cross legs next to him and start doing it as soon as they see he gets a sugar. So he's very smart that way. Yeah, he's a really cool horse. And I think he's got more of a future even ahead of him.
Yeah. Nice.
We haven't seen all of him yet.
And do you work with him as a groom every day, or do you ride him? Or
no, I don't ride him. And I'm not his primary caretaker. Felicitas, the rider, is. This is her baby. So I just take care of him if she goes out of town, and I help ringside at the shows.
Okay.
Here in Wellington.
Hey, now a little bit about more about the grooming. What's your favorite grooming product and why?
Well, one thing that I use that I don't know if everybody's heard of is it's called monkey butt powder.
Oh.
And that is great for keeping the legs dry and keeping fungus away and the crud off the legs.
Is it like a baby powder? Or?
It is, but it has calamine in it, it's a little bit medicated. It's kind of pink. I love that. That works really well. We clip the legs regularly up to the knee and up to the hock in the back, and then I powder them up. Always after clipping, I use the powder because, you've opened up the pores now, and sometimes bacteria and stuff can get in. So I powder them up after that. So we kind of do that, keep the legs dry. Keeping the legs dry, feet dry, all that stuff is very important.
And I'm sorry.
No worries.
Do you only do that in Florida? Or
no, we definitely use it in Germany too.
Okay.
Because a lot of time we don't bathe them as much in Germany because it's cold and things like that. And so you can but you still got to get them dry. So we use that to help dry them up because they are sweating. Yeah. But they're just not dripping with sweat to the point where you want to wash them all the time.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
And what's your super secret for getting your horses look their best?
I don't know if it's a secret, but I mean, an overall program of feeding and vet care and all that kind of stuff, and daily grooming and everything is all important. Horses are happy and healthy; it'll show. You don't have to do too much. Yeah. Past that.
Okay. What's your best tip for making a groom's life easier?
I think you need to know why you do everything that you're doing. What's the purpose behind everything that you're doing? Monkey. Monkey sees one of his friends. He frees. I think that's one thing. It's like, I don't know if every groom knows exactly why they do this certain thing. And I think it's when I know why, I can remember why I need to do that, for example. And obviously being organized and all that stuff helps you in the long run. So, if you prepare ahead in time and be early and on all that stuff, that helps you be less stressful. Monkey, what is happening?
Hey, and which advice do you have for young people who want to become a groom?
You really got to decide that you really love this and you really love horses, really, because there is no way for me, in my mind, to avoid some of the burnout and some of the things. So you will encounter it. and it will test your love of horses.
Yeah.
And nobody gets into this to make money. Please know this. So you got to really love it, and try it and see. If you don't, admit to yourself early enough that it's not maybe for you completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's been one of your most special moments during your time as a groom?
I like the fact that I've worked on 3 different nations teams. So I've been on a Nations Cup team for the U.S. at Aachen. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I've been on. I went to the World Equestrian Games for the Japanese team.
Nice.
And I've done the German team, the Nations Cup here that they've won 3 times.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool. Being a part of 3 different nations teams is cool. But I mean, everyday rewarding of horses, seeing horses develop and all that stuff is very important to me too. Okay.
And then the last question: what are you most proud of?
Oh my God. My crazy little dog. I'm most proud of the education that I've given myself over the years. I really tried to be a well-rounded horse person, horsewoman, because I think that's important.
Yeah.
So all of it. So it all kind of adds up, I don't have we don't have these master degrees for horses, but I kind of feel like I do.
Yeah.
Having done it as long as I have. So I guess I'm proud of my education.
Well,
but I'm still willing to learn though.
Yeah.
Because there's still things to learn. Yeah, still things to learn. The horses teach you something new all the time.
Well, thank you so much for this interview, and good luck with all the other competitions upcoming.